Crunch time starts here. It's Friday evening, and you are tuned to PlayOn Sports' coverage of the 2012 North Coast Section Division I semifinal round between the number 1 seed De La Salle Spartans of Concord and the number 5 seed Amador Valley Dons of Pleasanton, live from Owen Owens Field on the campus of De La Salle High School. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours from all of us here at PlayOn Sports. My name is Stephen Davies, and it's my pleasure to be joined once again by our analyst Michael Smith, our videographer James Davies, and tonight's producer Zach Farmer. Once again, you are tuned to PlayOn Sports' coverage of the 2012 North Coast Section Division I playoffs, your destination for high school sports. De La Salle have been the dominant force in Northern California high school football for over 2 decades, and they are once again on the cusp of reaching the North Coast Section final as they attempt to win their 21st consecutive section title. Led by legendary coach Bob Ladisser, the Spartans are known as a November team, and there's no doubt that they are the heavy favorites here at Owen Owens Field tonight. Following a first-round bye after receiving the East Bay Athletic League's top seed, the number 1 seeded Spartans faced old nemesis Pittsburgh in last week's second-round matchup. The Pirates were the last team to defeat the Spartans in North Coast Section play 35-28 in the 1991 final at the Oakland Coliseum. Pittsburgh came out fired up, surpassing the 100-yard rushing mark after just 1 quarter of play and went into the half trailing the Spartans 14-7. But the Spartans roared back to life in the third quarter as the defense clamped down and the offense exploded for 21 consecutive points. Senior running back Pepe Vitali had another stellar performance, carrying the ball 23 times for 141 yards and 4 touchdowns, all from inside the 10-yard line, while junior quarterback Chris Williams completed 4 of 10 passes for 109 yards and a 39-yard touchdown run of his own as the Spartans took a convincing 35-13 victory. 5th seed in Amador looking to get back to the North Coast Section title game for the first time since 2004, where they lost 41-0 to these same Spartans in the old 4A championship. Amador defeated Castro Valley 45-27 in the first round as senior quarterback Kyle Moreno completed 12 of 19 for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 73-yard touchdown pass to junior receiver Grant Miller, who led all Don receivers with 3 catches for 101 yards. The Dons then followed up the win over the Trojans with a tense, rain-soaked 28-25 victory over Cameron Burst and the San Ramon Valley Wolves in the second round. In a game plagued by turnovers, 11 combined by both teams, the Dons' ground game was the key to victory as senior running backs Alejandro Apodaca and Sam Peters combined for 41 carries, 274 yards on the ground, and 3 touchdowns, overcoming Moreno's poor day passing as he threw 2 interceptions on just 4 of 6 for 22 yards. And now to bring in Michael Smith. And Michael, for all the fans listening out there tonight, we have some breaking news. What do you have for us?
That's right. We do have some breaking news, and it is this. Amador Valley star quarterback Kyle Moreno, who has been the quarterback here for 3 years now, since a sophomore. He is a senior this year. Well, last week against San Ramon, he suffered a dislocated shoulder. It came in the 4th quarter. He continued to play the game out, thinking that there wasn't anything wrong with it. But earlier this week, he didn't even attempt to practice. He wanted to go get it looked at first before stepping out there on the practice field for Rick Sierra and the Amador Valley Dons. And he got it looked at, and they felt that it was pretty serious enough for him not to play. He is out there on the field right now for the coin toss, or just leaving the field after the captain's meeting out there. So still participating in that, but he is not dressed. He does have his jersey on, sling over his right shoulder. That is his throwing shoulder tonight. And definitely breaking news, as both you and I, we were preparing for him to be the guy. We hadn't heard anything in Contra Costa Times telling us otherwise. And I think maybe that was a good move by Sierra, kind of leave De La Salle wondering that they had no idea. And so it really is a shock to everybody. I mean, this is a guy in Moreno who's a dual-threat quarterback. He can run, he can pass. He's thrown for just over 2,200 yards. He's ran for about 250 yards, scoring touchdowns in each capacity. Of course, he's thrown more than he's ran for, but this is a big loss. And, what it's going to come down to tonight, Stephen, is turnovers in every way, shape, or form for Amador Valley. Can they avoid them, and can they create them? If they can avoid them and create them tonight, I think they have a chance to maybe pull off the unthinkable, but this is De La Salle. They are at home, and they are the toughest team, if not in all of Northern California, in the state of California. I mean, this team just knows how to win. Like you said, Ladisser, this is a November team.
Short kickoff fielded by Austin Hooper at about the 35-yard line for De La Salle. Kevin Nags, the kicker for Amador Valley, hoping to go a little bit better boot underneath it. So short field here for De La Salle to work with, and they'll come out on the field here for the first time this evening, led by the junior quarterback, Chris Williams. And we've talked about Amador and what they need to do to win tonight. What do you think De La Salle has to do to be successful here this evening?
De La Salle just has to stick to their game, not get pressured into anything. Although if there is room to see it, then pass the ball. I thought even though Vitale was, our overall player of the game last week on the PlayOn broadcast, 4 touchdowns, $140, of course that's going to get you to nominations. But I thought the biggest play was when Williams hit Austin Hooper on a tight end seam pass, wide open. He saw it and made the pass right there. Quick release. If he sees his receivers open, he's got to throw at times tonight.
It's a 3-yard gain by Tiapape Vitale on the first carry of the game. 2nd and 7. De La Salle will fake the handoff. Williams on the keeper here, goes around the left end. He's tripped up here by a couple of Amador players, among them number 57, the senior linebacker, Mitchell Mayo.
That's what De La Salle's been about for a couple years now, and that's what Chris Williams brings to the table. Junior quarterback, a little bit more versatility than they've had in the past quarterbacks in the years. I mean, Bart Houston was a phenomenal quarterback, don't get me wrong, but Williams is the perfect quarterback to run this veer option offense for head coach Laddiser and the De La Salle Spartans.
3rd down and 1, Williams on the keeper will get enough of a push from Daz Talatasi to garner a first down for De La Salle as they move into the Amador half of the field.
Yeah, and that's another thing, getting behind this line, and that's been the strength of De La Salle for over 2 decades now, Steven. I mean, this isn't an offense or defensive line. They pretty much run the same personnel. When you look at them, they're not that big, compared to other lines, but they just play so strong. I mean, they play way bigger than their height and weight gives.
1st and 10, De La Salle play action. Williams looking right, has a receiver open, making a fine diving catch as Austin Hooper ranging to his right. That's a good pickup on 1st down.
Yeah, nice pass play for the first pass play of the game for De La Salle. You just get him on a quick little drag route to the outside. Austin Hooper's definitely going to be his main target, although do expect Andrew Buckley, the man they call Buck, he will be getting the ball a lot if they're going to go look deep as a receiver threat. And also keep an eye on Austin Lone Star, number 25. Yeah, he's a sensational baseball player, but he could catch the ball too.
He'll line up in the slot left side. It's a handoff to Talatasi. That's a good gain and another first down. Let's quickly give you the starters here on defense. Amador Valley. The ends will be James Moore and Joey Martin. The tackles be Nate Vickers and Jesse Sertis. The outside linebackers, Kyle Greenan and Sam Peters. On the inside, Dominic Ashley and Mitchell Mayo. The cornerbacks, Ryan Ibanez and Justin Cruz. And then the safety will be Grant Miller. So 1st down and 10 from the Amador 32. Williams, a quick out route here to a wide open receiver down across the 25 to about the 20. That's Andrew Buckley with his first catch, just as you said. Michael, keep an eye on number 22.
Yeah, I mean, he's their best all-around player. He's a senior, 6'1", 195. He's actually committed to a college, but for baseball, he will be going to the University of California, Berkeley. But look at what the guy does. He's their receiver. He's a safety. He's their punter. He's a punt returner and a kick returner. Mr. Versatile is the nickname for Andrew Buckley.
Williams on the keeper around the right side. That's a great tackle by Mitchell Mayo, wrapping up Williams around the ankles to bring him down. But De La Salle looking good on this first possession. It's the 2nd and 6 coming up from the 14.
And Mitchell Mayo, really the hero of last week's game against San Ramon Valley for Amador Valley. He had 2 interceptions. He caused 2 fumbles. He pressured the quarterback a burst on throwing the other 3rd interception of the night. Had 12 tackles overall, 4 of them for loss.
9:18 to go in the first quarter. Played De La Salle. 2nd down and 6. Williams' pass for Buckley is low. He can't hold on. And Amador now will have De La Salle on the 3rd down and 6.
I think Williams kind of rushed that one a little bit.
Yeah.
He had a lot more time than he thought he did. He threw it really quickly, and I don't think Buckley was prepared, although it did hit Buckley in the hands, kind of a low ball, should have caught it. I think it was kind of a confluence of things there for De La Salle, but more blame on Williams. He had enough time. He doesn't have to be so nervous. The purple people eaters can cause some disruption down low, but he had a lot of time.
2 wideouts here. It's a handoff. Ball's loose. I think Amador recovered it. They do indeed. And I believe it's Joey Martin, the play to come up with it there for Amador Valley. A little bit of a rush exchange there from Williams to Talatasi, and Martin in the right place at the right time. And we talked about big plays in the pregame show, and Amador Valley certainly came up with one there.
Yeah, and I think once again it was Williams just a little too nervous, anxious, sped up that play way faster than it had to be. He needs to slow it down if he's going to be successful tonight. But although you look at Amador Valley, this is something that they do. They are known for the big play. Their turnover margin pretty good.
They held on to the ball here. It's 4th down and 7 all the same, so they were able to get it back. Flags fly. And a timeout called by De La Salle. So with 8:39 remaining in the first quarter of play, no score. But De La Salle driving here, 4th and 7 from their own 15.
Interesting there, as we all thought it was going to be a fumble.
I thought for sure that Martin had come up with the ball. He certainly is.
And this is a situation where if it was the NFL or college, a challenge would have definitely been thrown. However, there is no challenge in high school football. But I just want to touch on that really quickly. Like I said, Williams so far tonight, now in 2 consecutive plays before the timeout, just really rushing things. And I know that, this is his first time with De La Salle as a starting quarterback this season, North Coast section semifinal. You're trying to get to the big game. And I get that. But, trust your line and don't rush things so much. Just slow it down a little bit. Although, like I said, Amador Valley, this is something that they do. Take a look at their turnover margin, Steve. Plus 11 turnovers so far in the year, 34 takeaways compared to 23 giveaways. That is definitely the key. We talked about it pregame, and that will remain the key for the rest of this game.
De La Salle going to go for it then on 4th and 7. 4 wide receivers. Williams with time, steps up, fires complete to Buckley, shakes a few defenders, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Great grab by Buckley. Shook a couple of defenders off. Easy pickings for De La Salle. On 4th and 7, they put the first points of the day on the board.
Yeah, and Andrew Buckley doing a good job of getting open. He was matched up against a linebacker being Sam Peters, and Buckley's going to win that matchup. He'll probably beat any linebacker that tries to cover him tonight. It was a quick slant route, kind of did a quick slant, then stopped, come back towards the quarterback. Really did a great job of running his route to perfection, finding the wide open crease, and then it was easy pickings for him to get into the end zone for 6.
Tyler Duncan's extra point is good with 8:33 to go. First quarter of play. De La Salle strike first. They are up 7-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Then tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Thank you, sir. He is Michael Smith. I'm Stephen Davies. James Davies providing the video coverage tonight. Zach Farmer behind the controls here. Owen Owens Field, North Coast section semifinal night. The number 1 seed De La Salle Spartans, the number 5 seed Amador Valley Dons. Martin's kickoff is a deep one. It'll be fielded by Grant Miller on the goal line. And I think that actually went into the end zone for a touchback. So as we alluded to at the top of the broadcast, Kyle Moreno, the 3-year starter for Amador Valley, out of the game. He'll be replaced by the other senior quarterback, number 8, Ryan Mahoney.
Ryan Mahoney pretty much has been held to just holding the ball for PATs and field goals this year, but head coach Rick Sierra says he is ready to put his faith and trust on the senior quarterback, says he needs to make good reads tonight in order for him to be successful.
Start off with 2 wide receivers here, handing off to, or on the keeper, excuse me. It's a nice carry by Mahoney, selling the handoff to Pete as well, or to Apodaca, excuse me, and I'll bring up a 2nd down.
And that was one of the other things I asked Coach Rick Sierra. Can he provide the same dual threat capabilities that Kyle Moreno can do? And he said, yeah, he might not be as good of a runner, but he can successfully carry out the job. And I also said, well, it's going to be more imperative to get the other receivers that are usually involved in the run game into the mix. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, everyone's got to be wide open, hands on deck.
Here's Mahoney from the gun. A lot of pressure coming from the right side, and they take him down. De La Salle quick into the backfield there. A couple of players combining to bring Mahoney down. And I think they're trying to say maybe they try to strip the ball off him there at the end of the play. As the referee's trying to separate the players out here on the field. But that was a combination of Victor Igu and another player for De La Salle to bring down Mahoney.
Yeah, it was Victor Igu and big number 68, Xavier Banks, defensive tackle. Of course, Igu was the slowest one to get off. His helmet came off, so he's going to come off the field for a play. But Xavier Banks, pretty impressive last week against Pittsburgh, really filling up that middle area in the second half. The fans are really applauding the young man, number 68, and really cheering him on. He's going to look to have another big game tonight.
Mahoney in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, and passes well underthrown and could have been intercepted there by DJ Moffitt, covering Justin Cruz that time. Amador will go 3 and out, and they'll send on the kicking team. And this is another interesting situation here because Kyle Moreno would have been the punter here tonight. So Let's see who they bring out here to handle the punting duties for Amador Valley. 7:14 to go in the first quarter. De La Salle on a touchdown pass from Chris Williams to Andrew Buckley. The difference here. So here's a Cruz. Justin Cruz will handle the kicking duties here, the senior wide receiver. Have 3 men in front of him. Does well to handle a low snap. Takes a couple steps to his right. Gets off a pretty decent kick. And they'll let that go as it bounces at about the 45 and takes a kind Amador bounce. Look at that roll, 15 extra yards there. So just what the doctor ordered for Amador Valley as De La Salle will start this possession from their own 28-yard line.
Pretty decent indeed.
Yeah.
It looks as if Justin Cruz has punted once or twice before. Great punt from the senior wide receiver. Got that good Amador roll.
Well, if they can get 17, 18 yards on rolls like that, then certainly help Amador's case. But
well, they had great coverage to go along with it, because I think in any other situation, had there not been great coverage, Buckley would have taken that ball up off the turf and tried to do something with it. But Amador quick to be down where the punt returner was as soon as the ball touched down.
Power I formation, handoff to Vitale. He gets to the outside across the 30 and dragged down by the ankles. Nice tackle there by Sam Peters to bring down a speedy Vitale.
Yeah, Sam Peters, one of the faster guys on this Amador Valley Dawn squad. Who isn't fast, though? They really have a bunch of quick guys do the Dons, but Peters, who has returned a couple kicks for touchdowns this year, and he catches up to Vitale, just reaches out with all of his arms and everything he can to tackle Vitale by the legs and stopping Vitale from getting a first down and possibly a big strike touchdown.
Lone Star, the single receiver right side, to give to Tatalatasi. Big hole across the 40 to midfield. Tatalatasi to the outside. 2 men to beat. Here he goes down the sideline, cuts inside of the 25, keeps the legs churning down to the 15. Great carry by number 21.
Pepe Vitale had such a great game last week and just picking up right where he left off, exploding up the middle and then bursting out to the outside on the far side of your screen there. And I thought he was almost going to take it for Pater, but as do most De La Salle backs, he looked for some contact afterwards and kind of gave a stiff arm there at the end, a little punish to the power and the speed that he possesses. And just a very great run there by Pepe Vitale, who has been having a great season. 218 carries for 1,635 yards. He's averaged 7.5 per carry.
Hutchins in the game at running backs. A handoff to Vitale this time. He goes over the left side, across the 10 and down to about the 8-yard line. So good gain there on first down for De La Salle. And after the long run by Tatalatasi down the far side, and I think if he'd stayed to the outside, he might have got into the end zone. De La Salle well placed here to add to their 7-0 lead.
23 touchdowns overall in the season for Vitale. And in his last 6 games, he's gone for $130 or more.
Hutchins remains in the game. He'll line up on the left side. It's a quick handoff there to Vitale, but he's wrapped up a couple of Amador defenders in there to make the tackle. Among them, number 47, the senior Dominic Ashley.
He had 141 yards on 23 carries against Pittsburgh last week in the quarterfinal game of the NCS. And then the game that ended the season, the regular season against California, 24 carries for 194 yards.
We'll go one receiver right side here under 5 minutes to go. First quarter of play. Williams turns, hands off to Vitale, and he gets leveled at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive effort there by Amador Valley as they have 3 players sent to bring him down. And that's going to bring up a 4th down here. They need about a yard here, Michael. Excuse me.
Yeah, and we'll see if they elect to maybe change it up with a different back or if they do a quarterback sneak here.
They only need to get another yard here. They'll have a fresh set of downs to punch it in from 4 yards out. De La Salle's confidence no doubt buoyed by the touchdown pass on 4th down from Williams to Buckley on the first possession. So here they go, 4:20 to go in the first quarter. They need a yard. They'll give up the middle, and I think they got it. Let's wait and see for the official spot here. But it looks like on first glance that they are in there.
Yeah, they did pick up the first down. Like I said, they changed it up a little bit, gave the ball to Talatasi this time around, and Talatasi picking up the necessary inch for the first down. And so actually got a little bit more than that, picked up 2 yards to be exact on the carry. So now the Spartans looking at 1st and goal from the 2, and this should be an easy score situation for De La Salle.
Yeah, Williams goes under center. He'll keep it himself and try to go around left end, but I don't think he got there. He's going to be about a yard shy. He'll bring up a 2nd down.
Yeah, and I wasn't too sure about that play, an option play on a first down. I would have elected to just keep running it up the gut.
Yeah.
That's what they've been successful with so far on this drive, whether it be Vitale or Talatasi. Of course, Vitale's been the big gainer on this drive, but Talatasi just picking up that first down and play it go.
Eager and Hooper, the tight ends. Williams will try and push it over himself. Good pressure at the line of scrimmage by Amador, and this will be close. So 2nd down and goal.
Well, what I liked there was almost Reggie Bush push-esque as Talatasi came from behind his quarterback and just tried to push him in to the end zone.
So we've stopped shy. It's 3rd and goal from the 1. Amador's defense stout here on the goal line. Can they keep Williams out? Williams turns, gives it to Vitale, and he is in for the touchdown, his first of the day from a yard out. And Vitale so good from inside the 10. And he had yet another touchdown to his haul for the season. De La Salle from a yard out with 2:57 to go, pending the extra point. We'll be up by 2 scores. So it's
And now this is a De La Salle Spartan game. Once you get
Duncan on. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
To kick the extra point, it's up, and it is good. De La Salle with 2:57 to go are up 14-0 over Amador Valley.
Just I was about to say, yeah, this is now we're in a De La Salle game. Anytime that Vitale gets the first score or gets his first score of the action, that's when you know you've entered a game. I mean, these running backs just do so well, having a nose for a ball, or having the nose for the end zone, and Vitale just continuing to be impressive. You said it earlier in the pregame. All his touchdowns last week came from within the 10-yard line, and his first one here tonight from 2 yards out, no different.
So De La Salle a touchdown on 4th down from Williams to Buckley for 15 yards, and then Tiapepe Vitale from a yard out. Amador already down by 2 touchdowns here. Under 3 minutes to go then. First quarter of play from Owen Owens Field. And Duncan's kick will be fielded by Grant Miller on the, and let's say it was in the end zone again. So Grant Miller looking to get up ahead of steam and try to make something happen here in the return game for Amador Valley. Instead, judged to have started from the end zone. Amador will start from their own 20.
And, you know, I think sometimes that's undervalued, the fact that Tyler Duncan continues to have these guys have to start from the 20 every time with no return. And that's going to be key for De La Salle. Just keep booting it into the end zone, because this Amador Valley Dawn squad, very capable of busting kick returns and punts to the house.
Here's a handoff to Apodaca across the 20 to about the 25-yard line. Solid gain there on 1st down as Amador Valley went 3 wide that time. They did go 3 and out on their first possession, so it's crucial from here, Michael, to move the chains on this drive.
Yeah, it is crucial. The Amador Valley cannot go 0 for 2 on their first drives. Already
Agreed.
down 14-0.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you here. They have to establish some kind of offensive momentum here, at the very least, to give the quarterback, Ryan Mahoney, some confidence here going forward. So they'll go 3 wide again. De La Salle show blitz. It's a handoff to Apodaca, and he's wrapped up, nowhere to go. De La Salle just swarm all over him as Michael Hutchins made the initial contact on the tackle.
Yeah, no, this is only their second drive because De La Salle got the ball first.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So, but I will say this: Apodaca, guy that they're really going to have to keep giving the ball to. He's been hot. He's really had the hot hand, hot legs. Last 3 games, 49 carries, 317 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And check this out, against De La Salle earlier this season, only had 1 carry for 1 yard. So he's already eclipsed that in his first carry tonight.
De La Salle held Peters and Apodaca to just 10 yards in that first game. A minute 41 then. It's a handoff again to Apodaca, and he's just wrapped up. De La Salle so good at the line of scrimmage. This time in the backfield with Sumner Houston to bring down Apodaca.
But they can't. I know it's kind of like you're saying one thing and then preaching another, but they can't just be heavy with Apodaca. They have to mix it up. I'm telling you, the Amador Valley is at their best. I covered them in 2009. They're at their best when they have some running up the middle, but when they get those receivers involved in the run game, the jet sweep. I know De La Salle's very fast, but I think it could work against De La Salle, who's so strong throughout the middle of the line.
Here's Cruz again. Shorter punt this time, returnable for Buckley here at the 45. Buckley to the outside, gets wrapped up, breaks a couple tackles, still keeps the legs going. Across the Amador 45, down to about the 40. Not as good as a kick that time from Justin Cruz. And a nice return by Andrew Buckley to put De La Salle inside the Amador half of the field.
So once again, 3 times they've been successful tonight getting into Amador Valley territory. This one before they even get a play of offense going. That was just on the return by Buckley, who did a really good job of just escaping would-be tackle attempt after another. I thought he was going to bust it. A lot of spin moves there from Buck.
Buckley and Lone Star receivers left side. 2 running backs behind Williams. Quick slant is through the hands of an Amador player and tipped away. Might have been either Mitchell Mayo or Sam Peters that got a hand to that pass from Williams. But again, maybe just a little bit rushed there from the junior quarterback.
Yeah, Williams rushing it there, intended it for Lone Star. Ball way above his target. And we know Lone Star at 6'1" could usually go up and get it, but
De La Salle going to go 4 wide here. Buckley far side, 3 receivers left. Single back here is Pape Vitali. He's to the left of Williams in the gun.
And this is a look you don't see often. Shotgun set as well.
It's a fake give to Vitali, and he runs into Mitchell Mayo head on and is brought down. Williams definitely lowering the boom there a little bit on those Amador defenders, but he took a shot from Mitchell Mayo at the initial point of contact.
Yeah, Mitchell Mayo was the first one to kind of pop Williams. Like you said, Williams did bounce up from that tackle and continue to keep going forward, but not too much forward as Peters was there in the mix as well as number 66, that being Alex Jader.
Bring Talatasi back in the game alongside Vitali here. Amador Valley showing blitz. Williams takes it. He can't get the option off, and that's a great defensive effort by Kyle Greenan there, sticking all the way with Chris Williams to bring him down.
Yeah, Kyle Greenan really fast, and he proves it there on that play, getting into the backfield and wrapping up the quarterback Williams for maybe even a loss on that play. Kyle Greenan with a 4.9 40. Ran a really good 4.3 second shuttle run at the Nike Spark Combine back in May this year. Top 94th percentile.
End of the first quarter then from Owen Owens Field here on the campus. De La Salle High School in Concord. De La Salle up over the 5th seeded Amador Valley Dons 14-0 at the end of the first quarter of play.
Ladies and gentlemen, PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. That's right, we've caught up to the social media game. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up live with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. And Steven, I know you're checking out the Twitter feed. I don't know if you've seen an update yet, but some really great games being covered by PlayOn Sports, with another one taking place in this exact city of Concord, California. Well, Clayton, but it's a little suburb of Concord, between the number 5 seeded Concord Minutemen and the number 1 seeded Clayton Valley Eagles. The Amador Valley played Concord earlier this season. It was a 14-12 game that went down to the wire. Concord outlasting the visiting Dons.
Well, I've got score updates for both. Concord, thanks to Alito Thompson on a touchdown and a 2-point conversion lead. Clayton Valley Charter 8-7. In the other game we're covering on PlayOn Sports here tonight, El Cerrito over Annalee 7-0. Back to the action here, then De La Salle on 4th down, need 3. Flags fly from the near side as they try to get that one in quickly there. Officials will confer. It's going to be offsides against Amador Valley, and that's a crushing blow for this Amador defense. You can see over on the far side, Joey Martin put his hands on his head. He can't believe it. A chance then for Amador to perhaps swing the momentum in their favor slightly, and it goes away with an offsides penalty.
Yeah, the defense had 2 pretty good stops right before the break. And to be unaware of where your body's at around the ball to start the quarter, not good for the Dons.
Williams on the keeper across the 25. That's a good carry by Chris Williams. Let's see where they spot him here as he broke a tackle down around the 20 and bounced forward for some extra yardage. Williams on the keeper there, and now move the chains for De La Salle.
Yeah, huge hole opened up on the right side for Chris Williams to run through. Credit Jackson Lewis Bernardo and also David Ogborn, 2 seniors on the offensive line on the right side for De La Salle, giving Chris Williams a gaping hole to run through.
Second consecutive play, De La Salle will go 3 wide with Vitali to the right of Williams in the gun. It's a give to Vitali. Big gap opens left side. Vitali down inside the 10 and into the end zone for its second touchdown of the day from 18 yards out. Pepe Vitale's second touchdown of the day.
I'm just surprised that this guy doesn't have any offers yet. I mean, I'm looking around to see which school's going to give him a chance to come around, and nothing solid yet. He was telling us last week in the post-game interview that a couple of small schools such as Nevada and San Jose State are looking for his services, but this guy can sure run the ball.
I mean, I'm looking at his statistics from the last couple games. The extra point in the meantime, Sale's up and good, but against Pittsburgh, 23 carries, 144 yards, 4 touchdowns. Against Monte Vista back on the 19th of October, 23 carries for 206 and 3 touchdowns. And we can't forget, we were there at the Coliseum last year. We went off against San Ramon Valley, 6 touchdowns, 168 yards rushing. But you're right, how he doesn't have some more looks is beyond me at this point.
Yeah, and De La Salle's been doing that for the last couple years. They pick one guy. I mean, it's always a 2-back system, but there's always one guy that really features in it. This year, it's Vitale. Last year, it was a combination of guys, but mostly Vitale. Year before that, Lucas Dunna. And then, of course, in 2009, Teron Ward was their feature back, although they did have Tyler Anderson in the mix.
Back underway, then Tyler Martin's kick will be returnable this time as Miller takes it from the 5. Miller to the outside, across the 10, turns the corner to the 15, to the 20. Good return by Grant Miller as he gets down to about the 24-yard line, but it's imperative now for Amador Valley to get something going here on offense.
Yeah, we'll see if third time could be a charm for the Amador Valley offense. For the first time tonight, they actually got a return, and it was a remarkable return by Grant Miller. About a 22-yard return as he took it from about his 3-yard line. You see the ball boy rushing off onto the field for De La Salle. He might be a future Spartan
I was about
someday.
to say the same thing. Amador Valley here will go I formation with a receiver out to each side. So let's see if they can make something happen here. Maroney will look right, has time, fires complete to Apodaca out of the backfield, but he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage as De La Salle will quick over that to the far side. Either Alan Marion or Tatala Tassi in there on the tackle.
Couple of youngsters actually helping out on the De La Salle sidelines. You got a guy who's preparing the water bottles in the number 61 jersey. He's getting them ready. Gatorade bottles just in case any of the Spartans need it.
2nd and 1 then Amador Valley. Then they'll go line of stern behind Mahoney and shotgun receiver out near side. Turn and hand off to Apodaca, but forget it, nowhere to go there. As Xavier Banks, the big defensive tackle for De La Salle, is right there to meet him.
Xavier Banks stepping up once again for De La Salle. He usually has a large cheering section right in front of the booth. We noticed that last week. They got really loud whenever he made a play. And it looks like they're right in front of us again here tonight, cheering for number 68. A boy who's played here all 4 years, De La Salle.
Crunch time here for Amador, 3rd and 10. They'll go 4 wide. Mahoney looks right side, but the pass is well underthrown. Intended for Grant Miller. Coverage over there by Alan Marion. Amador for the 3rd time go 3 and out.
Yeah, and unsuccessfully for Amador. They just have not been able to get anything going offensively.
If you're just now joining us, De La Salle already up 21-0, 2 touchdowns from Tia Pepe Vitale, but perhaps the big news of the day, Kyle Moreno, dislocated throwing shoulder. He is out of the game. The backup quarterback, Ryan Mahoney, taking over the quarterbacking duties here for Amador Valley. It's Justin Cruz to kick with Buckley back inside the De La Salle half. Cruz will take a few steps off to the right. Unleashes a pretty good kick, and that takes another kind Amador bounce. And that'll roll across the De La Salle 40 all the way down to the 36. So Cruz, 2 excellent punts on the night, and he's done his best to pin De La Salle back.
Yeah, Cruz has a weird punting motion, too, the way he takes a snap and then kind of rolls out to his right. He almost gives you the option that he's going to fake it and then toss it to somebody, but he kicks it off. He's kicked it off both times tonight, and both times has had the benefit of a good bounce off the turf, and it goes forward instead of backwards, and doing a good job of pinning De La Salle back as far as he can down at their own 35.
But as you can imagine, De La Salle, no troubles moving the ball on offense. They lead 21-0 here with 10:24 to go. Williams surveys the field, fires downfield, has a receiver open, and Lone Star just dives forward. He can't make the catch. Tremendous throw from Williams. Double coverage back there for Amador Valley, just out of the reach of Austin Lone Star.
Yeah, and Austin Lone Star, I told you earlier, known for making great grabs in baseball. and couldn't quite come up with the catch there.
Great looking throw, though, by Williams all the same, and he had all kinds of time to throw the ball. And when he had Vitali lined up beside him in the backfield and with tremendous blocking from his offensive line, giving him the chance to throw downfield. So 2nd and 10 then, with 10:18 to go. From the De La Salle 36, Buckley and Lone Star receivers out right side. Vitali and Talatasi the backs. Williams has to step up, evades the pressure, steps up to the middle, somehow keeps going across the 40-yard line. Williams breaking down around him. He makes something out of nothing there, Michael.
Yeah, well, the Purple People Eaters of Pleasanton were going all in on that one, a heavy blitz there, and it looked as if they were going to wrap up Williams for a loss of some yards, but he just kept fighting, kept them legs churning, and fought through a couple tackles and picked up about half of the yards necessary for a first down. Really impressive run by the quarterback there, Williams, of just making, like you said, taking nothing and making it into something.
Here comes the blitz, picked up. It's a handoff to Vitali on the draw. He cuts across the 45. Vitali across midfield. That's the first down and more into Amador territory.
And Vitali right now is just, the best analogy for him is to say he's like a knife right now, just knifing through this Dawn's defense, just slicing them up. You could see the blood dripping off their arms pretty much. I mean, you really can't see it physically, but literally, I mean, this De La Salle team just getting dissected right now by Vitali. And this game is about to get out of hand with another De La Salle score.
Yeah, it is. 9:18 to go. 1st and 10. De La Salle from the Amador 44. Williams on the delay. Gives it to Talatasi, trying to get to the outside. But 5 Amador players there to bring him down. Credit to Colin Miller there, the sophomore, making the initial contact.
And 5 players met him at contact, and he just kept pushing past them. It wasn't like one guy met him and then 5 players ganged up for Amador Valley. I mean, De La Salle just runs the ball so hard. It doesn't matter who is running the ball, whether it be the quarterback, whether it be their running backs. They just do. They have that will to just never give up, and it shows every single play.
From the near side hash mark, then it's 2nd and 5 from the Amador 40. Williams, Salle gets maybe across the 40 to about the 38, so that's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 2 here. And Amador Valley's defense has been out on the field a long time already in this game. They could really use a big stop here to give them some confidence moving forward.
It seems as if all 11, just right after that play, all had their hands on their hips.
Yeah.
They looked gassed out there.
3rd and 2 then, De La Salle from the Amador 36. Williams gives it to Vitali, breaks the tackle, and will get down to the 30. They'll move the chains then. And you're right, they look gassed midway through the first quarter, and they've spent the vast majority of this game out on the field as Amador's offense has been unable to muster a first down. And there are some tired guys out on that line for Amador right now.
Yeah, they're all just standing around, rather lazily getting up to the line of scrimmage. And look at the safety right now. I mean, that's that being Jordan Kane. These guys, maybe this game is too big for them right now. That's
going to be an incomplete pass, although that Williams' arm was certainly going forward when Ashley bore him to the ground. So that'll bring up a 2nd down.
Great job there by Dominic Ashley to disrupt the throw from Williams.
You're right. The defenders, the secondary for Amador Valley was certainly looking all over the place as Amador, or De La Salle, have gone with 2 receivers here for much of this possession. They'll go with Lone Star far side and Richard Watson out here on the near side. So Williams on the keeper, big hole to the left side. Williams darting around between players across the 10 is finally wrapped up. Good tackle, Ryan Ibanez there to finally bring him down. But Williams, for a guy that's 5'11 and 210, he can certainly step around there, Michael.
Yeah, he can. Like I said, he's the perfect quarterback to run this veer option offense. A quarterback with the skill set like his that Lattiser's really been looking for a long time. I don't think he's had this good of a running quarterback maybe since his days of Kevin Lapina, but this is a new look for De La Salle, a quarterback that really has a lot of speed. Other quarterbacks have been able to pull off the option well just by their running abilities and good awareness, but he has a lot of speed, does this junior.
First goal from the 6. Williams rolls out, has a receiver, Vitali, one man to beat, lowers the shoulder, and he's in. A hat trick of touchdowns for Tia Pepe. Vitali, his first receiving touchdown in the game, and De La Salle very much on the verge of putting this one away.
Yeah, they're imposing their will in every facet of the game right now, especially the running, whether it be with the ball carrier just getting a handoff or whether it be the run after the catch here in the pass game. We've seen every De La Salle player, it seems like, lower a shoulder at the end of each play. And, you know, things aren't going to get any better for Amador Valley unless their offense can get a drive going, because what's going to end up happening here, Steven, is the defense is going to be completely fresh sitting on the sidelines, and the offense, well, offense really doesn't get tired too much, especially an offense that has the kind of capability of De La Salle with different players that can run the ball, quarterback, running back. You know, you would think that maybe Vitali would get tired already, but he can keep it going. And so Amador's, their offense has really got to get a sustained drive that could take some time off the clock and wear out De La Salle's defense a little bit. Because if not, then their defense is going to be tired just from having to bang it around with De La Salle.
7:16 to go, then second quarter of play. And De La Salle up 28-0 here at Owen Owens Field in the North Coast section semifinal round. The top-seeded Spartans, the fifth-seeded Dons. They get back underway. Duncan's kick will be returnable for Grant Miller at about the 5. Miller again bounces it to the outside, across the 15, but he's wrapped up far side. A couple of De La Salle players in there on the tackle, among them the senior Kyle Mouton.
Kyle Mouton getting his name called for the first time tonight.
So
can Amador get a big return if you know they've had now 2 decent returns, but they're going to need a big return tonight, I think, in order to get back into this game, whether it be an interception forced or a fumble return, kick return.
Apodaca lines up to the left of Mahoney. The pass is incomplete. That's unlucky. Went through his hands. Apodaca out in the flat to the left side. It was a decent throw from Mahoney, but he just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, Apodaca had his arms stretched out wide as far as he could. I thought the throw was a little bit to the inside, though, considering the wheel route. You know, it would have been nicer had the ball been right over his shoulders. It was thrown a little bit inside of Apodaca. He couldn't catch up to it, turn around inside to come closer to the ball.
And they'll go 4 wide here. Turn and hand off. This time this is a handoff to the running back to Peters across the 30. That's a great carry there by Sam Peters. The first time we've called his name tonight, and that's the first time the Amador Valley moved the chains.
Yeah, Sam Peters, good job there, moving the chains just as similar to Apodaca in his first run. Kind of catching De La Salle off guard by giving it to a guy for their first time tonight. And for season, 67 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. But like I said, the big number he has next to his stats, 2 kick return touchdowns. It's yet to be seen if they'll even get an opportunity for that tonight, but they have to do that, some kind of return.
4 wide here. It's Mahoney on the keeper, and he goes nowhere as De La Salle's defense is quick to recognize the keeper attempt. It was Michael Hutchins, the future USC Trojan, on the tackle.
Yeah, and strong hands there by Mahoney to even hold on to that ball, because Sumner Houston almost ripped it out of his hands there before Hutchins eventually made the tackle. And, of course, Hutchins is going to USC Trojan. He's excited for it.
Trips left here, solo receiver right side. Mahoney looks right. Oh, it's going to be a fake here. Mahoney actually lined up a receiver. Now they'll fire it back down the field. A little trickery here. That's Michael White there, the player that took the snap, and he'll get across the 35 to maybe the 36.
Rick Sierra. He has a bag of tricks available. It depends on which one, when he's going to use it. But
flag on the play right at the end as they brought down Michael White. And it's a face mask against De La Salle. De La Salle coaching staff here not particularly pleased, but finally a break goes in the favor of Amador Valley, and that will not only move the ball up just shy of midfield, but that'll give him a fresh set of downs to work with.
Especially Terry Edson feeling like maybe the refs are helping Amador Valley out with that call. Very vocal against it, as for the first time tonight, Amador Valley now past the 50 and into De La Salle territory.
Yeah, thanks to the face mask penalty, they are indeed in the De La Salle half of the field. 5:53 then to go, first half. And Amador Valley, thanks to a decent carry by Sam Peters for a first down and a face mask penalty, are finally on the move here in this game. Of course, they're trailing 28-0.
And look at Vicente Sarver's mom has on V. Sarver's visiting jersey and then has on the fedora there. The gray fedora with the green hat.
Four wide receivers in here for Mahoney. Back behind him. He'll fire right. Pass is complete. But getting wrapped up. Nowhere to go. Justin Cruz. Great tackle again by Michael Hutchins. Wrapping him up around the midsection to bring him down.
And there's a lot of great fashion items you could pick up. You saw that store upon entering the stadium, Steve. I mean, it's like a legit college store that they got going on. Some Nike gear, a bunch of different shirts with different sayings. Of course, visors, caps, sweaters, whatever you want. And it's definitely being sported here by the Spartan faithful tonight here at Owen Owens Field.
Just a yard gained on that catch by Justin Cruz. 2nd and 9 then from the De La Salle 48. It's a handoff to Apadaki. Gets to the outside, breaks a couple tackles, keeps the legs churning across the 45. About the 42. Encouraging run there by Alejandro Apadaki, and that's going to set up a 3rd and about 4 to go.
3rd and 4, and I've yet to see really any kind of loud vocal support from the Dawn Squad fans here in attendance, and usually they're one of the best fan bases in the East Bay as far as student body goes. They're another one. They have a bunch of custom-made shirts that I've seen, all different styles. They have their version of the We Believe shirt that they started rocking this year. They felt that this is the team to do it. I mean, definitely getting to the semifinals is a good goal or a good task.
Mahoney rolls left, steps up in the pocket. Good awareness there. Side steps to the 40. That's good enough for a 1st down. Amador with 2 tight ends and just the sole receiver out right side. But credit to Mahoney there for seeing big gap open up in the center.
Yeah,
gets first down.
A magnificent play there by Mahoney. That's something as a Niner fan I was always urging Alex Smith to do. When the pressure kind of gets in your face and the pocket collapses, step up and run, especially he has the speed to do it. And this time, Mahoney recognizing the pressure, recognizing that there was some space up the middle, and he takes off and gets forward for the 1st down. Great recognition there by Mahoney.
3 first downs on this drive. Mahoney in the gun. Hand off to Peters. He'll get across the 35 to about the 33. And this is good mixing and matching of personnel on this drive from Amador Valley, using Apadaka and Peters really for the first time in combination tonight.
Yeah, that's the thing. I told you can't get too heavy on one guy. It's chewing up the clock a little bit. Granted, now a timeout will be taken with 3:45. But, yeah, a really good drive there by Amador Valley of just chewing up some clock, and they've got to mix it up tonight if they want to be successful. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? PlayOn Sports is not only your destination for Friday night football action. Heck, we broadcasted a game on Thanksgiving yesterday, did Steven and I. But it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championships events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. And last week we did the Division 5 volleyball championships, or Division 6 actually rather, out there in Boonville. Doing that. I was solo on that mission. Omar Lewis was the producer, Hans Webb, the videographer. He'll be the videographer for us tomorrow when we go to do the North Coast Section Division 5 championship in the sport of football between Ferndale and
St. Vincent Petaluma.
St. Vincent Petaluma. And actually, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know a little bit more about Stephen Davies and I, this is the 3rd anniversary of us working together. We first met on a Friday night around this same time.
Rancho Cotati.
Again, it was a game with St. Vincent Petaluma. They played St. Elizabeth's, and Fred Sims, the head coach for St. Elizabeth's, getting his first ever North Coast Section championship. Remember how excited he was, and now he's the head man over at Berkeley, Division I program.
2nd and 5 from the 33 here for Amador Valley.
That was really his coming out party to the Bay Area. I think that's what allowed him to get that job at Berkeley.
Mahoney gives it to Peters, and he kind of lost his footing there, and he's wrapped up. Victor Igu all over him there as Peters trying to make a cut back to the center. Feet just came out from underneath him, and now a promising drive here for Amador Valley as the potential of stalls that face for the 3rd and 5 from the De La Salle 33.
Heck, Steven even was talking about videoing cross country. And how tough of a task was that, Steve?
It's the hardest task in the world. Not harder than this right here for Amador Valley. 3rd and 5 then from the De La Salle 33. Play action with time. Fires, has an open receiver, and it's just underthrown. Boy, that's unlucky there for Grant Mills. He had made a move down the right sideline, was cutting into the center of the field, but Mahoney's pass just underthrown. Amador Valley facing the 4th down.
Those are the throws you just have to complete here in this situation. Your team facing a 3rd and 5. Get a wide receiver that gets open, and that would have been Pater have you hit him in stride. He makes that catch. He's easily waltzing into the end zone. And now you're looking at a 4th and 5.
It is indeed a 4th
They're
and 5.
going to have to go for it down 28-0.
Yeah, no choice
no
here.
mistake about it.
Walker Mahoney and the Dons dial up here on 4th and 5. Pressure coming from De La Salle. He has time. He fires for the corner of the end zone. Pass a little underthrown and through the hands of the receiver. That was Kyle Green, and down here on the near side. The ball actually went through the hands of Kevin Griffin there, the De La Salle cornerback. And boy, Kyle Green just out of position there at the most inopportune time.
Well, credit Griffin. Great coverage downfield. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving, however, and I'm surprised that a lines judge just let it play. It seemed as if Griffin was creating more contact in fighting for that ball than the receiver Greenan. However the case, Greenan couldn't really get in great position to make the grab. Turnover on downs, and you better believe De La Salle is going to try to execute the 3-minute offense and get another score before half.
Williams rolls out wide, fires downfield, has Lone Star open. He makes a great adjustment, makes the grab at the 20, he's brought down. Touchdown saving tackle there by number 21, Hawk Becker, but what a throw from Williams. And Lone Star, a tremendous route.
Yeah, beautiful throw by Williams, even better route by Lone Star, just a deep post, and they were looking for it all on one play. Forget 3 minutes. They try to get it all in one play. And Hawk Becker just a couple steps behind, but was fortunate enough to hawk the receiver there, close in on Austin Lone Star to prevent that from being a touchdown. However, De La Salle now already inside the 20-yard line just on one pass play.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the 14. Williams will give it to Vitale off the right side for maybe a couple yards gain. The 2nd down coming up. But boy, Williams has looked pretty good in this game so far already with 2 touchdown passes, and has managed this offense to perfection. And De La Salle here with 2:20 to go in this half, looking to finish this off right here and now. Receivers out right side, Buckley and Watson. Williams, quick drop, fires. Oh, through the hands of both receivers. Wow, can tell he was aiming for Buckley and it just went through his hands, and then Watson wasn't expecting the bullet from Williams, can't hang on, and they'll bring up a 3rd down.
Terry Edson really letting go on Baldacci right now.
So 3rd down then.
Edson more the vocal coach. He's the coach that everyone would picture the head guy at De La Salle to be, where Lattiser, the guy who is the head coach, very relaxed, very reserved.
Split backs, 3rd and 7 then for Williams on the keeper. Thought about pitching it off to Tatala Toss. He keeps it himself and is wrapped up. Sam Peters on a tackle for Amador Valley.
But you know what I mean, though, Steven? I mean, a big-time program like this, most of the times in those programs, it's the big vocal coach who imposes his will, with words and yelling at his team. But Lattiser's not that kind of guy. Like I said, he leaves that all to Terry Edson, who's followed him every step of the way.
So it's 4th down here for De La Salle on the 9. They need 4 yards to get a 1st down. And they're going to go for it here. Power formation here behind Williams under center. It's a handoff to Vitale. Plunges forward. Looks like Amador may have stopped him here.
Yeah, it looks as if Amador Valley will get the ball back. Not enough of a push forward or surge forward for Vitale.
Not even close. They're about maybe 2.5 yards shy of the 1st down mark. So Amador's fans, precious little to cheer about in this game so far, but the defense holds them there.
First time tonight they've been able to do that.
Yeah.
Michael Hutchings sure wasn't expecting it. He had his helmet off, just chilling on the sidelines, getting a sip of Gatorade, and he had to really quickly get back, get onto the field, snap on his helmet, and get ready to go. This is still a dangerous situation for the Dons, though, because De La Salle is going to pressure hard, try to get that safety, and try to get the ball back one more time before the half, and really continue to put this thing out of reach.
Mahoney looks right side, passes incomplete. He was looking for Parker Newman, the junior receiver, out left side. Pass thrown just a little behind him in the 2nd down coming up.
Austin Hooper quick off the ends, getting a hand in the face of Mahoney, disrupting that wide receiver screen. I mean, Austin Hooper so tall for De La Salle, 6'5". Surprised he didn't just grab up and snatch it. And then it was almost picked off. Great coverage there. Griffin just draping the receiver the whole way.
Whistles go. Timeout call by De La Salle. So with 1:19 remaining in the first half of play here from Owen Owens Field, it's De La Salle 28, Amador Valley 0.
All right, folks, stay tuned for the halftime show here on PlayOnSports.com, where Steven and I will break down the first half of play, and really not much to say except for De La Salle just completely in control of this one. They've been having their way with whatever they wanted to do offensively. We'll talk about everything. We'll maybe bring up some stories that we haven't got to touch on throughout the game, some special interest stories relating to both teams. That's coming up right here at halftime in the next 1:19 on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. You have any more scores on the games being covered by PlayOn?
Looking now, the Concord, Clayton Valley were up in the lead in the second quarter, but I haven't seen an update from either game for probably about 10 minutes or so now.
How about that Central Catholic game? I know many are picking them to be a lock. If they can win their section, they will win. I think they'll represent the Division 4. Ferndale's in competition with them at the moment.
They're up 13-7 over Center. It's a handoff to Peters in the meantime and nowhere to go. De La Salle's defense, just so stout. And Peters just can't find any room to run. And Amador now pinned inside their own 5. It's 3rd and 12. De La Salle crowd getting loud here with 55 seconds and counting remaining here in this first half of play.
Yeah, another score hopefully we can try to find. Del Oro and Elk Grove. Elk Grove was really putting on a good season. Met up with Franklin, an undefeated team, and lost that one in a matchup between rival schools in Elk Grove.
Mahoney fires pass is complete, and a nice move there by Grant Miller to gain what I believe will be a first down for Amador Valley. Nice couple of sidesteps there around defenders, and that will indeed move the chains. A bullet throw there from Mahoney to his favorite target man, Grant Miller.
And they were taking on Del Oro, a team which was like San Ramon. They struggled to start the season by scheduling themselves some really great non-conference teams, and then after that just turned it on and became one of the hottest teams in the Sac Joaquin section, winning 7 of their last 8. So curious to see what the score in that one is. We'll update you on that at the half if we can find that.
Amador call timeout then with 33 seconds remaining in the first half of play. A completion from Ryan Mahoney to Grant Miller, prolonging this drive for the Dons. We still have a lot of work to do. It'll be 1st and 10 from their 18, and the clock most certainly not in their favor.
Here's a score that Play On Sports covering. Granite Bay leading Franklin, who was undefeated coming into this game. Granite Bay with a huge lead, 23-0 in that one, with 6:17 left in the second quarter. And wow, Granite Bay, another team that has really come on strong since non-conference. 8 straight wins, perfect in league. And for Franklin, this was the toughest team, even besides Elk Grove, that they've faced all year.
Amador handoff to Peters up the middle for maybe a couple of yards. We'll move up to the 20-yard line. 23 seconds remaining. And a timeout call by Amador Valley.
Granite Bay, who is color schemes-wise, like the De La Salle of the Sac Joaquin section, they also have green and silver as their main colors. The only difference, of course, they rock the Adidas jerseys, whereas De La Salle rocking Nike jerseys, and that makes me happy because I'm a big Nike guy. And I also want to see if we could try to there's one. Annalee missing a 22-yard field goal, trailing 13-0 in a battle of undefeateds between them and El Cerrito. El Cerrito right now a lock for the Division III game if they can stay undefeated. And then I'd like to see if we can find the score of the Bellarmine CCS game, the Bellarmine-Sarah game in the Central Coast section. That one looks to be a good one. Meanwhile, Zach Farmer updating us on the Concord and Clayton Valley game. And at halftime, they are at 14, tied at 14, 2 minutes before half in that one.
2nd and 8 then with 22 seconds to go and change here in the first half. 4 wide for Amador. Mahoney with time. It's pressured and brought down. He tried to break away, but he can't get further than Austin Hooper, who wraps him up for the loss.
And De La Salle's going to call their last timeout here.
Bellman and Sarah 3-3 at the end of the first half, or late in the first half.
I mean, really, I'm just impressed with all the games that PlayOn is doing tonight. And that's another good matchup. 9-2 Sarah with the 5th seed against number 1 Bellarmine. Their only loss coming to start the season to this De La Salle Spartan squad. De La Salle blowing them out of the water. A lot were picking Bellarmine to kind of make it a closer game than it was. Zach Farmer pointing something out to Steven. What is that, Steve?
Sarah have taken the lead over Bellarmine on a safety. It's Sarah 5, Bellarmine 3 with a minute 32 to go there in the first half. So topsy-turvy night to be sure, all over the northern half of the great state of California for Amador Valley, staring at the 3rd and 18 here with 15 seconds to go in the first half of play. I guess the one bright spot is that he will get the ball to start the second half of play. Again, going 4 wide, 2 receivers each side. Peters behind Mahoney. They do the end around. Nicely worked that time, but as you can imagine, De La Salle's defense is all over it as Hooper and Hutchins bring down Justin Cruz.
Yeah, and I'm glad they just ran the ball and just called it a half because, you know, you would have hated to see them go for a pass and then maybe a devastating injury out there. And I think it's just best for the Dons to kind of go into the locker room right now at halftime and really give it some thought about what I'm not going to say did or didn't work for them. Nothing really worked for the Dons in the first half. And, you know, yeah, they had a drive that lasted a bit, took off about 3 minutes off the clock, got, you know, to within the 20 of De La Salle, but, you know, turned the ball over on downs. And they just, you know, and that's when they were down 28-0 already. So, you know, this is going to be a really tough game for Amador Valley to come back in. You know, I always say never, but I'm curious to see without Moreno what head coach Rick Sierra has. I mean, like I said, he definitely has a bag of tricks with all the speed he has at the receiver position, end arounds, jet sweeps. We've seen a reverse tonight. We've seen a reverse pass, double pass actually, and it remains to be seen if he's going to keep having to rely on pulling out tricks from that bag to use tonight, because I'll tell you what, anything ordinary, De La Salle is just going to be all over it.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the halftime show. It's De La Salle all over the 5th-seeded Amador Valley Dons here at Owen Owens Field. De La Salle 28, Amador Valley 0. We'll be back in just a couple of moments here on PlayOn Sports, your home for high school sports. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Back with you live on PlayOn Sports' coverage of the 2012 North Coast Section Division I playoffs. Stephen Davies, Michael Smith, James Davies, and Zach Farmer here live from Owen Owens Field on the campus of De La Salle High School. The number 1 seeded De La Salle Spartans are a half away from what they hope will be their 21st consecutive North Coast Section title, and it's looking good for them right here against Amador Valleys. They lead this game 28-0 at the half. Let's go over the scoring then from the first half of play. De La Salle on their first possession, Chris Williams, the junior quarterback, a 15-yard touchdown pass to Andrew Buckley. That throw coming on 4th down, and that was of some crushing blows to the Amador defense. That might have been the worst one of all, thinking they had a stop earlier on in the game. And De La Salle just bringing out the quick pass to Buckley for the touchdown.
Well, we all thought that there was a fumble there on that drive, and they kind of waited to actually make the call there on the play, but the refs gave the call to the home team, said that there was no fumble, and then just directly after that, facing a 4th down and a have-to-convert situation, the Spartans go for it, and they find their man, Buckley, who did a great job of just creating open space, running a great route, and then coming back for the ball from his quarterback, Williams, and then he had a lot of room. He caught it around the 2, easy room to walk in for 6, and first score really was kind of a punishing blow to Amador to start the game.
Certainly was, and then Amador going 3-and-out in their first 2 possessions, and as you can imagine, the Spartans didn't take long to capitalize on their next possession. Pepe Vitali for a yard out for his first touchdown of the evening.
Yeah, Pepe Vitali, who was so strong last week's game against Pittsburgh with 144 yards and 4 touchdowns, continuing where he left off, scoring from inside the 10 as he did all 4 times last week. And, yeah, from 1 yard out, easy pickings for him. And, like I told you, it's a De La Salle game when he gets on the board.
Yeah, and it wasn't going to be the first time that Mr. Vitali would get his name on the score sheet. His next touchdown, an 18-yard touchdown run for second of the night, and that was set up on a long run by Tatala, and then for the final score of the first half, Chris Williams, his second touchdown pass, this time to Vitali for 6 yards out to put De La Salle up 28-0.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns for the senior, and he's definitely making his last game played here at home a memorable one for all the De La Salle fans, scoring in different capacities, 2 via the run, 1 in the pass game, and like I said, him alone has really put this game out of reach, but Williams has looked great. He's ran the offense quite considerably for De La Salle.
I thought he's been outstanding.
He's looked good on the option runs. He's known when to keep it. I really haven't seen him pitch out on the options, actually. I think he's kept every option run that they've dialed up today. But the offensive line, it all starts up front with them. Once again, like I pointed out earlier in the broadcast, even they may not be the biggest guys when you look at the De La Salle offensive line as far as height and weight goes, but one thing they are always so solid, so strong in their technique, and they create big-time holes for these running backs to run through, and they make it easy for Williams and Vitali and Tatala to make plays. And even Williams, one thing I remember I said it right before the game started, I said, I think Williams is going to have to throw the ball when the opportunity is given, and he's taken advantage of that tonight. Hit Buckley a couple times for some receptions. Of course, that huge post pass, even though they didn't score on that drive, up 28-0, that huge post pass to Austin Lone Star, who was wide open and would have had 6 if it wasn't for a diving tackle at the legs by Hawk Becker.
Yeah. That's the tackle of the night for Amador's defense, to say the least. But Williams, very impressive looking, though, through the first half of play here at Owen Owens Field. De La Salle cheerleaders doing their best to fire up the crowd here at halftime. And
well, speaking of firing up the crowd, Amador Valley's fans try to do all they can this year. Of course, they have their annual rap videos that they do in the week leading up to the rivalry game against the Foothill Falcons.
As we've heard over the years.
Yeah, and this year's was pretty good too. And I'm going to play it for the fans just because, I really liked where they were going with this one. And I just love, the amount of purple and gold that's displayed by their student body. Like I said, really one of the best fans, better fan student bodies in the East Bay. I mean, they really do, as they allude to in the rap, bleed purple, wear gold, We haven't heard much from them tonight, and they haven't had a reason to cheer and hoot and holler, but they're one of the best fans. And I'm going to give some shout-outs to the lady who made this video. She's made about 4 videos. Her name's Catherine Woodwell, and she's really done a great job of just capturing the Amador Valley fan base at its core and showing what they're all about. Like I said, they have a lot of purple shirts. You'll see a lot of jerseys if you were to watch the video. I know you guys are only going to hear it. Face paint. They're always wearing the face paint. And I love the shirts they have. They have a Nike shirt that says, "Just don it." And that's just some of the shirts. Or they have there where it says, "Been there, don that." But here is the rap video from this year from the Amador Valley fans, their student body. It was made for Foothill, but the rap kind of encaptures really how they've been doing all year round, too. That's why I'm playing it, not just about the game against Foothill.
Slap it, Michael.
So hard, you'll probably be mumbling. Walking off the field, yeah, stumbling. After that, man, he'll proceed to break your teeth. Crews coming in with the heat, and I doubt you'll be beat. All y'all players are weak like meat. I was reinforced concrete. You can't compete, you know, with the best. Hit you in your chest, they be better than the rest.
There we go. Turn it up a little bit. You'll start hearing some name drops, too.
Break your spine, hold a dog, who the frick is Jay Klein? Foothill, man, you guys are looking pretty crude. Better be abused, confused, essentially misused. Amador is a bum that can't be abused. Get hit by Clint Mankins, you should have be bruised. Your time is overdue, your due's already done. Put yourself in our shoes, you know who's already won.
Dawn's coming for ya, this is our year. See us in the pit, decked out in purple gear. Yeah, we're the loudest, make you look childish. Are you even out there? All we hear is silence. Peas on the field, that boy's a killer. Another TD? Oh, that's Grant Miller. Gold is our color, purple's what we bleed. Hungry for that win, I think it's time to feed. Yeah, you got the nest, or the Falcon Nation, but we came first, this town is Dawn Nation. Best team around, gonna take back the crown. Don't second guess us, Foothill's going down.
You know all the fans be loud, purple pit and purple crowd. All the Dons, they screaming.
Here we go. It's about to. We'll finish it off. This is where they really get their fans going.
Our team is straight spectacular, doing push-ups till they vascular. You Falcons look so lackluster, looking like it's gonna be a massacre. Remember when we walk in the building, look scoreboard, you can see that we winning. Hit you so hard, your head gonna be spinning. Y'all looking so blue, while we over here grinning. Yeah, down your top of the Foothill, we never stop. You're standing still, all this spectacle you can't fulfill. All you do is rock, come on for real. You and your flock, yeah you do. Oh who you, blue who, oh well blue who you has been, because I believe that we will win. Who are we? AV.
Who are we? AV. Who are we? AV. I'll stop it right there, but you know, I mean, these kids, it takes a lot of talent to make these videos, and it's just good to see these kids doing something good with their time, and, you know, no swearing in it. I mean, you know, it's hard for a lot of these kids to have to make a rap, you know, and without any vulgar language. And like I said, if you can only see this video, throughout the whole video, a lot of purple and gold, definitely showing the purple pit in full swing, especially when De La Salle played against Amador Valley earlier in the year. That game was at Amador Valley. And so the De La Salle players had to put up with the loud noise that they can create, this time getting the opportunity to play at home in front of their fans, which are a little bit more reserved. They do cheer at times, but they're not as raucous as the Amador Valley fans. And, you know, it's just a really great city, great atmosphere, and you got to appreciate what their student body does.
So assuming they've listened to that during the half, which
sure,
you think with 24 minutes of football remaining, they're down 28-0. What do you think the Dons need to do here in the second half to get back in this game? It's a bit of a tall order, to say the least.
A bit of a tall order. You know, I haven't seen much in the passing game. Mahoney has missed a lot. And, you know, granted, this week has been a different week with not really being sure of if Moreno was going to be good enough to go. I don't think he got his sling really put on until about Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
And it's now Friday, so that only really leaves you 3 days to prepare, knowing that you're going to be the man. You know, I think the best thing to do, chew off as much clock as possible and keep De La Salle's offense off the field. So, but do that in a way where you're mixing up ball carriers. You know, they've been successful when they've gone, you know, Apodaca, then Peters,
right,
then maybe a reverse. They just can't get locked on going, okay, Apodaca had a good 10-yard run. Let's give it to him again. They're just going to have to really wear De La Salle out on the offensive line or on the offensive side of things. Defensively, they're going to have to create more pressure. And Mitchell Mayo is certainly capable of doing that, along with Dominic Ashley. He's got in the backfield a couple times tonight and made some plays against Chris Williams. It's just so hard against De La Salle. I mean, there's a reason why they're number one year in, year out, and they just always have the talent. And they have players that buy into what Coach Lattiser's system is all about. And, you know, they get preached to it when they first come here as high school students, and they know the deal. And it's almost like, you know, I don't know if anything is good enough for Amador Valley. You know, I don't know what to tell them to get back into this game besides just to keep fighting and try their best. There's really nothing else you can do against a team that's just this talented and this well coached, such as the De La Salle Spartans.
Let's go to some score updates then. Well, we've got a couple minutes here before the start of the second half. Things looking good for El Cerrito, now up 19-0 over Annalee with just 36 seconds remaining in the half. So for Keelan Benjamin, Jalen Harvey, and the rest of the Gauchos, they are most certainly on their way to the final here. Let's see if Annalee can pull that out in the second half.
That's a very dangerous team, Steven. I'm El Cerrito. They've been getting acknowledged throughout the year, but I really don't think that people understand how good that team is.
I saw them take apart Valley Christian in the Tri-County Athletic League Rock Division earlier, and they're for real on offense, defense, and special teams. I think they were just absolutely outstanding in all phases of the game.
Yeah, Annalee had a close scare last week. Their undefeated season almost came to an end against Campolindo last week in a quarterfinal matchup in which they barely squeaked out with the win, 16-14. Or actually, I believe that score, if I'm not mistaken, it was they actually squeaked out a win, 38-34. Their offense kept them in it. 16-14 was a score when El Cerrito played Campolindo, and that almost broke their undefeated season early in the season. Campolindo, a very tough team. We all know they made it to state last year.
And that's before Stevens got injured, too.
Right. And they just kept playing hard this year with Zolan Takis as their starter.
Cal Bonagura's posted, remember this name, Jalen Harvey, the junior wide receiver at El Cerrito. And
that's the thing, he's only a junior.
He is for real, and those teams in the Tri-County Athletic League next year will no doubt be up all night thinking how they're going to prepare for Mr. Harvey, because he's a threat not only receiving the ball, but it's a special teams player as well.
Well, they have everything you need. Marcellus Pippin's a tremendous receiver. And not to mention Calhoun.
Yeah.
You know, he's a guy that kind of gets lost in the fold.
As is Keelan Benjamin with the way he's played quarterback this season. Let's see if we've got some other quick score updates. Central Catholic, we're up 27-7 at the end of the first half of play. And so look for one more. Oakdale up over American Canyon, 21-13.
Do we have an update? Yeah, in Del Oro against Elk Grove. Del Oro now with only within 3 against Elk Grove. That's turning out to be a good game, only down 20-17.
Folsom destroying Buhatch Colony 35-6. That game almost at the half. So
Folsom, man, they're another great team, just year in, year out.
Yeah.
They're looking to try to make it into either the Division I seed, which looks to they're going to have to battle it out with Bellarmine. They might even qualify for the D2, if I'm not mistaken, get the D2 spot to represent Northern California. Of course, they're going to have to play that regional game first and foremost. But
back to the action here from Owen Owens Fields. We get the third quarter underway. Duncan's kickoff is returnable by Miller, bobbles it at the goal line, breaks to the outside, gets a couple blocks, breaks a couple tackles to the 15, to the 20, and forced out of bounds. Grant Miller favoring the far side of the field for his kickoff returns, but he's pushed out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line, and Amador will get the second half underway on offense.
Grant Miller with the bobble to start the kick, then had the wobble to shake off a couple defenders, and then kind of hobbled there at the end as they wrapped him up by the legs, and he was just trying to escape the tackle being pushed out of bounds.
It's that famous Mike on the mic commentary right there.
Sure.
1st and 10, Donson from the 19-yard line. Mahoney will have Peters behind him in the backfield. He'll go 3 wide here. Mahoney feels the outside snap. Pressure comes, gets the pass off. It's complete. Let's change the direction here near side by Justin Cruz after the catch, but that's maybe 2 or 3 yards for all his dancing around there on the near side.
Yeah, a lot of dancing and not a lot of yards on the play for the Dons. Gain of maybe a half a yard, if that. But at least it's a pass play that is caught by the receiver and maybe can get the quarterback, Mahoney, feeling good about himself here.
Austin Hooper coming off that defensive end position was all over Mahoney that time. 2nd and 10, no gain on the play from the Amador 19. Mahoney quick drop, fires downfield, over the shoulder catch, and a great one made near side. They say he got a foot in. Let's see, they're going to say he did. What a grab by Green and then near side, Michael.
Yeah, Kyle Greenan sure does have some sure hands for the Amador Valley Dons, and just what a remarkable catch, making that grab despite being hit pretty hard. He knew the contact was coming by Griffin. Griffin just really leveled into him. Greenan so far with 28 receptions, 337 yards coming into this game, that being his first one of the evening. Great grab by Greenan.
First down play then for Amador Valley. It's 1st and 10. Mahoney comes out. Pressure coming from the backside. Fires downfield. Looking for a receiver. Passes underthrown and out of bounds far side. He was looking for Grant Miller. And it'll be a 2nd down coming up.
And even though it's an incomplete pass, pretty proud of the senior quarterback there of just not forcing anything. Throwing that one out of bounds. Great coverage downfield. He knew he probably was not going to hit his man.
Well, he knew the pressure was coming there from the blind side. Austin Hooper has not been contained all game long and broken through again. Mahoney rolling out to his right. Can't find the open receiver. 2nd and 10 then. Amador Valley from their own 37.
Defense calling out some audibles right now before the snap.
Mahoney turns, fakes the handoff, steps up, fires downfield, has an open receiver. Melody's intercepted. Pick made by Andrew Buckley over there on the far side, and he stepped right in front of his receiver.
What an interception there by De La Salle, closing in on the pass from Mahoney to Miller and making the pick. And a deceptive play there by the Dons, the fake to the running back. He kind of looked back at his quarterback. He thought he was really getting the ball. He kind of looked at him like, hey, man, weren't you supposed to give me the ball? He didn't know what was going on there. Interception for De La Salle, a chance to add on to their 28-point lead.
It's a handoff to Vitali up the middle of the field. Breaks the tackle. They hadn't said he was down, and he'll scamper a couple extra yards. Well, no one touched him there as he went to the ground. Didn't hear the whistle. Vitali got up and got 3 extra yards there on the ground.
And now Austin Hooper rushing onto the field, snapping on his helmet to get out there.
That's not what Coach Sear wanted at the beginning of this possession, was for Amador Valley to turn the ball over within 2 minutes of this third quarter beginning, but that's exactly what's happened. Here come De La Salle once again, 2nd and 1. Williams, play action, fires, incomplete. Hooper drops it. Throw made in stride.
And I was just about to tell the fans, that's why I said that. Hooper coming in, I knew that a pass was going to go his direction. And they run that tight end seam route to Austin Hooper. And kind of caught the young tight end off guard, senior tight end, right off the hands. Maybe he wasn't ready for the throw from Williams.
2 wide, 2 split here for Williams. Flag flies and look like some movement on the line there. I think that's going to go against Amador Valley. And it's offsides, and that's not the first time it's happened tonight, where Amador Valley had an opportunity to perhaps make a stop on 3rd down. Instead, the offside penalty cost them. De La Salle, a fresh set of downs here with 9:59 to go in the 3rd.
And this is rather unusual for games that I've covered lately involving De La Salle. Usually, for as well coached as they are, they have committed quite a bit of penalties, and they've usually come up on the losing end of the penalty battle against most teams that they've played. But tonight, they've done a great job of not really creating any. I don't think they've got one penalty called against them yet. I think every penalty's gone against Amador Valley.
1st and 10, Williams, 5-step drop. Pass is off the hands of Tatala Tossi. He was in the flat right side. Pass came off his back shoulder almost there and couldn't reel it in.
And I actually will correct myself. There was that one face mask penalty that moved Amador Valley past midfield. But
that's the only penalty today.
Other than that, yeah, I can't remember one against the De La Salle Spartans, who have just been playing so well for so long. Ranked number 1 in the Division I for all the North teams. They look to get the Open Bowl bid to go to the regionals. And unless Franklin makes a comeback in their game against Granite Bay.
Power eye offset to the left here. It's a handoff to Tatala. He cuts inside behind the block, and there, oh, great moves. Look at him go to the outside, to the 30. Foot race now, and he's finally dragged down by the shirt. Tackle made over that far side by Ryan Ibanez. Boy, he was dancing around there. How did he cut to the outside?
Well, that was a run straight out of a video game, Steven, as Tatala took it on the counter run from left up the middle, and then he bounced back to the left side of the field after making some defenders miss. Had some room along the far sideline and yeah, danced around quite a bit and made a great run in open space.
Williams quick turn half to Vitali. So quick off the line. He breaks across the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Boy, these De La Salle running backs are so quick to get up to full speed. They're through past the line of scrimmage and into the secondary before these Amador defenders know it. And Vitali then, a last-ditch tackle would have stopped, or would have been his 4th touchdown of the game.
And they also bounce. I mean, they're so fast. They're so speed. You know, they have a great burst up the middle, but then they bounce off of defenders as well. It's something to see, to watch these guys run.
First goal, Williams. Quick pass is complete to Buckley for the touchdown. Andrew Buckley, 2nd receiving touchdown of the evening and the 3rd touchdown pass from Williams tonight.
Well, I was surprised. I saw Hooper come off the sidelines, and I was thinking, okay, De La Salle's going to run the ball. And then I forgot there's always another target, and usually that if it's not Hooper, it's Buckley for the Spartans, and that was the case right then and there. After picking up the first down on a tremendous run by Vitali, just looks for the quick slant route to Buckley along the near sideline. And Buckley with the tremendous catch, diving for the ball, going down to a knee, and corralling it in for 6.
Duncan's 5th extra point of the game sails through the uplights. The fan in the crowd makes a tremendous catch. And De La Salle wastes little time. 1:34 after the interception to get down the field. Daz Talatasi with a tremendous run to set up that touchdown throw from Williams to Buckley. Buckley 2nd of the game. De La Salle in cruise control now. 35-0 with 9:04 to go in the 3rd.
Really mixing it up. De La Salle doing a great job of it. Some pass, some run.
And as we said during the halftime, Williams looking exceptionally crisp out there today. This is going to be a short kick from Duncan. And Miller dropped it through his hands and recovered, I believe, by Amador Valley. A wild scramble for the ball. And Miller perhaps fooled by the fact that the kick wasn't quite as deep as the previous kicks today. Went right through his hands. And luckily, one of the special teams players for Amador was right there to recover, because that would have been disaster there for Amador Valley.
It just would have added further insult to damage is what it would have done.
Yeah, without question.
They're already down 35-0 deep in their own territory. Steven, I'm just kind of wondering how much points is De La Salle going to reach tonight? I'm wondering if they're going to get into the 50s threshold here tonight.
Well, they got plenty of time here. 8:58 to go, 3rd quarter. It's a handoff to Apodaca, and he's got nowhere to go there as he goes off right side. Ball to the ground, but maybe a yard gained on the carry. So 2nd down coming up then. They brought in Apodaca for this part of the possession at least. Amador Valley alternating backs tonight with Alejandro Apodaca and Sam Peters. Both seniors. 2nd down and 9 here from the Amador 15-yard line. Mahoney wants it, gets it, rolls out left side, pressure coming, steps around him. Now rolls out right side, keeps it himself across the 20, sidesteps a player to about the 23. And a lot of pressure on Mahoney there coming from the freshman, Boss Tagaloa.
Yeah, Boss Tagaloa making his presence felt for first time tonight. True freshman that doesn't see too much time, but
Yeah, he's coming in for Hooper off that right defensive end position.
Coach Ladd bringing the young man up.
Big boy,
for the playoffs.
6'2", 265.
And he has a chance to be like the Tagaloa that played over at Salesian last year.
No
Freddie
kidding.
Tagaloa, who's going to be a future star at Cal pretty soon.
Mahoney, a good carry there on second down, sets up a 3rd and short. Mahoney, quick turn, fakes the jet sweep, and instead it's an inside handoff. And I believe they'll have it. It was Peters on the carry. And they will indeed signal a first down.
Tough yards picked up by Amador Valley.
No doubt.
Talk about Cal and Freddie Tagaloa, who got into some action this year for Cal, but not a lot. He'll be a sophomore next year. He'll really see the field. And guy that's also going to be there, Victor Igu, who's on the field right now for De La Salle. He's excited.
4 wide here for Amador Valley. Quick handoff again inside to Apodaca. Across the 25 to maybe the 28-yard line in the second down coming up.
Victor Igu, who committed to De La Salle back on November 7th. And last week after the game that I covered here for PlayOn, went to the pizza place that sponsors De La Salle, Rocco's Ristorante. And I mean, it's you gotta go there one of these days, Steven. I mean, these guys are treated like they're big-time college and pro athletes.
Second down and 7 from the 28. Quick drop from Mahoney. Pass is complete and dropped.
That should
They'll
be
say it's incomplete,
pass,
and it is. Intended target was Grant Miller over there on the far side. Turned just a little bit too early there, Michael.
Yeah, he did. But also there was a defender there who did close in on Miller and kind of knocked the ball loose, charted out. But yeah, at this pizza place, I mean, all these De La Salle players show up afterwards, and you've got families sitting there and friends, and everyone congratulating him on the win, and especially Igu. That was the first time a lot of these fans have seen him since he committed to Cal. Everyone was shaking 5 with him, giving him congratulations on his commitment to Cal.
3rd and 7, quick out to Miller, makes the grab, but wrapped up. De La Salle's defense swarms to the ball, and they bring him down. Trying to see the player on the tackle was over that far side. I believe it was the inside linebacker, Cameron Lisarog, to make the tackle there on Grant Miller.
And, he played it up just as a star athlete, very classy, shaking the hands back and very polished, standing there talking to all these fans that were congratulating him. And he'll be joining a former De La Salle alum, one of the greatest linebackers in recent time, talking about Michael Barton, who redshirted this year.
Justin Cruz to punt. The snap goes over his head. He's going to have to retreat a long way, gets there in time, gets off the kick. And now take a kind of Amador bounce. And, well, if there's been one bright spot today, it's been the kicking of Justin Cruz. And what could have been disaster there for Amador Valley actually turned into not so bad of a punt after all then, Michael.
Now, Cruz certainly has bailed out the Dons out of any player tonight with his punting. And
you go
this time even greater considering the circumstance with the high snap. He had to race back to get it before it bounced into the end zone, and then he got it off just in time. Another low-line drive bunt that takes a bounce and puts De La Salle just past the 50 at their own 49.5.
Riopel fumbles the handoff from Chris Williams, but Williams alertly dives to the ground to field it. They'll bring up a second down. Some changes in the backfield then for De La Salle. They brought on Kyle Mouton, now number 27, also Riopel. He's wearing number 37. Both players seniors here for De La Salle tonight, as we can see some of the second teamers, I'm sure, with 5:08 remaining in the third quarter of play. Receiver out far side is Richard Watson. He's been in the game already tonight. Now to the near side, number 31, Griffin McCaffrey. Williams still in the game under center here on 2nd and 10. Blitz coming from Amador Valley. To hand off to Riopel. He cuts to the outside across the 45 to the 40, and that's a first down and more for David Riopel.
Well, Riopel was a force last year for De La Salle when they were battling injuries with Joe Teo. It had to be him and Vitali that were co-starring in the offense. And, Riopel, he's aware, he's not just some guy coming off the bench. He's a pretty tough runner himself, more of a fullback than a halfback, but can definitely give you the tough yards and pick it up. He's a guy you can rely on, and De La Salle relying on him on the previous play, and he comes through.
Injured player down on the far side. I believe it's an Amador Valley Don. So they'll tend to him. 4:50 to go, then third quarter of play. And the player being helped up, leaving the field under his own power is number 52, the junior, Jordan Mast.
Hopefully Jordan Mast is okay. Folks, do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you were enjoying here tonight? We'll get to that in just a minute.
1st and 10. De La Salle from the Amador 38-yard line. 2 receivers, 1 to each side here with Riopel and Mouton behind Williams. It's an inside handoff that goes maybe a couple yards. They'll bring up a 2nd down.
De La Salle right now in cruise control. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third. They'll still have another 4th to play, up 35-0.
And you figure now a lot of these guys will get some playing time out here tonight.
Yeah, especially the seniors. This is the last time they're ever going to play a home game here at Owen Owens Field, as, of course, next week's championship game will be in a neutral location.
Bruce and Coates, the receivers here. It's a toss to the right side to Mouton, and he lowers the shoulder on Hawk Becker and just blows him out of the way.
Yeah, Kyle Mouton putting his imprint on that previous play, bowling over a couple of Don defenders.
Williams, a quick look over the sideline here for an instruction.
Not quite a 1st down carry for Mouton, but sure did arouse the fans and stir them up a little bit.
Mouton to the left here behind Williams. Riopel to his right. Receivers out left here on 3rd and 2 from the 30-yard line. Williams turns and hands off to Riopel, and he's through the line of scrimmage, across the 25, across the 20, and finally brought down by Amador's defense. Nice tackle over there by Colin Miller, the sophomore, to bring down the speedy Riopel.
And Riopel continuing to keep those legs churning and do good things for his De La Salle Spartans.
Go ahead, Michael.
They've just figured that enough's enough for Vitali tonight.
Yeah, not much point leaving him in this game with it long decided. 3:07 to go, 35-0 De La Salle lead. It's 1st and 10, Spartans from the 15. Inside handoff, finally brought down was Riopel. They'll set up a 2nd down. Clayton Valley, though, pulling away from Concord. That game in the third quarter of play. It's 28-14. Clayton Valley Charter leading that one over the Minutemen. 2nd down then coming up for De La Salle from the 10. Got 2 receivers out left side, Alec Bruce and McCaffrey. Williams under center here. Will he throw his 4th touchdown pass? Instead, it's a handoff to Mouton. He'll break a couple tackles. He cut back to the center of the field. Maybe 2 yards gained on the carry, and a 3rd down coming up.
3rd down coming up for De La Salle. They've scored in a variety of ways tonight.
They have indeed 3
runs and 2 pass plays.
Oh,
three pass plays, 2 runs. There we go.
I've got it written in 4 different colors on my sheet here, Michael.
I like that.
So it is indeed 3rd down. And be 3rd and 3 from the 9, 1:54 to go, 3rd quarter of play. Williams turns and hands off to Riopel, gap up the middle. He dives forward across the 5. That should be good enough for De La Salle 1st down, and it is indeed. De La Salle now from inside the 5, 4 attempts here to punch it over before the end of the 3rd quarter of play.
Mentioning David Riopel, no slouch. Last year, 94 carries for 767 yards, averaging just over 8 yards per carry with 6 touchdowns.
2 receivers, 1 to each side out wide. Williams under center. Gives to Riopel. Gets stood up at the goal line. Did he get enough push? And he did. David Riopel from 4 yards out scores his 1st touchdown of the day.
And De La Salle just continuing to pile it on here in the 3rd quarter. Giving it to Riopel, who scores for his 1st time tonight. That's now his 2nd touchdown on the season.
Tyler Duncan on to attempt his 6th extra point of the evening. The holder is Matt McSweeney. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is good. De La Salle now just a quarter away from booking their place in the Division I final. Will they face California or James Logan? We'll know 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
And what a game that's going to be.
That's going to be a great game.
Is PlayOn Sports covering that one?
I hope they are. They should be. But had a chance to see him last week against Foothill.
And how good is California? Because I have yet to see them live this year.
You know, I was impressed with Cameron Owen, the junior signal caller for the Grizzlies. A very efficient and economical game.
And what was it like
under
to
center.
see in Karras Johnson? Did he dominate and take over? Or?
He didn't quite dominate as much as I would have thought, but that man is a load to bring down. But not only that, not only has he got the moves, but for a bigger guy, he's certainly got some speed. It's going to be a very interesting matchup should those two face off once again in the Division I final.
It'll be the rematch of the first ever North Coast Section Division final we covered.
And we are indeed showing that game tomorrow night on PlayOn Sports. In the meantime, it's a return by Sam Peters, and he goes nowhere as De La Salle's defense swarms all over him as Matt McSweeney, among others, bring him down. So, yes, that's going to be quite the game tomorrow night from Ernie Berger Field. James Logan in California. Look at these other games we're featuring. Carl Newman and Marin Catholic with Jared
that's going to
Goff.
be an excellent game.
Yeah, and then, of course, the game we'll be covering the Division V championship game between St. Vincent of Petaluma and Ferndale from Humboldt State. So, short night rest for Michael and I as we make the trip up there tomorrow. Amador then 1st and 10 from their own 10. A lot of work to do here. Now trailing by 42. Mahoney fires outside, and that pass is... Are they going to say that was intercepted? It is indeed. What a pick made over there on the far side. Was that Matt Baldacci that made the interception there? Because he just took that off the receiver. As the receiver was falling to the ground, and the De La Salle defender just ripped it right out of his arms. What a play.
Matt Baldacci, great job for him, because like I said, I seen him getting a lecture from
go ahead.
Terry Edson.
They're going to hand off to Mouton. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. From 9 yards out after the interception, De La Salle wastes no time. We didn't even have time to say that Tyler Lone Star, the sophomore, taking over a quarterback for Chris Williams. He hands off to Mouton on the first play, and Mouton is in from 9 yards out for the score.
And now they're just letting every back get a chance to put one into the end zone, with Mouton scoring for his 3rd time on the season, 1st time tonight.
Extra point is up, and it is good.
The senior back who's...
Love to know if that was Baldacci for sure on that interception, because he ripped the ball out of the receiver's hands as the receiver was going to the ground, and he did it before both players hit the turf. A remarkable pick. Receiver looked like he had it far side, and De La Salle defender just took it right off him.
And look how even Keel Lattiser is just pacing the sidelines. Just walking. I always wonder what's going on in his head, man. One of the greatest coaches all time. Already inducted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. His career not even anywhere near over, of course. One of the main reasons why he was inducted was for the streak, which De La Salle will always be known for. That's what got him notoriety in the first place, the 151 game winning streak.
This is returnable for Miller. Tanny cut to the near side. Miller dances around, gets to about the 25. Special teams again, just all over it at the moment. 4 Spartans in there leading the charge. Kevin Griffin, the junior, for De La Salle.
A lad was actually inducted during the streak. He was inducted into the National High School Hall of Fame in 2001. The streak was still going. Went till 2004. Coach Lattiser, one unique way of looking at the streak this way. It started in '92 when George H.W. Bush was the president, and it ended in 2004 when George W. Bush was the president.
3 wide here for Amador Valley, 2 left, 1 right. Mahoney will turn and hand off to Peters. He'll cut back inside to get to about the 29-yard line. Maybe 3 or so picked up on the play. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Dons.
The closest that any team has come to chasing his record was Independence High School out of Charlotte, North Carolina. They won 109 consecutive games from 2000 to 2009, still 42 short, which would be almost about another full 3 seasons in most states.
33 seconds and counting here at the end of the third quarter of play. They give to Peters, tries to turn the corner on the right side, but forget it. De La Salle defense is all over it as they've been all day long. Simba Short, Austin Prince on the tackle for the Spartans. Actually, a loss of yards there. They lose 2 yards on the carry, and the clock will tick down to the end of the third quarter. Perhaps the only bright spot now for Amador Valley. The rolling clock will be instituted here to start the fourth quarter of play, but De La Salle are so close to the North Coast Section Division I final, they can taste it. 12 minutes of football to go from Owen Owens Field. It's De La Salle 49, Amador Valley 0.
All right, thank you, Steven. Get back to my game plan here, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you were enjoying here tonight? Then tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. And Steven, one of those schools that took advantage of our broadcasting program, the SBP, is the Granite Bay Grizzlies. We talked about them earlier.
Yeah.
They have the same color scheme as the De La Salle Spartans, and they are playing tonight in a game. Do we have an update on that one as they were trying to get past the undefeated Franklin Wildcats out of Elk Grove, and they were beating them 21-0 at one point in time in that game?
Yeah, I actually did a baseball game with them up in the Sac Joaquin section last year, so all credit to them for sure for broadcasting as part of our school broadcast program here on PlayOn Sports. Back to the action here, start of the fourth quarter. Mahoney goes downfield looking for Miller, makes a grab at the 45, flags fly. Tremendous catch by Miller over here on the near side. But the flag came in right as Miller made the catch. That's the second excellent grab from Don receivers here today. We saw one earlier from Kyle Greenan. And now Grant Miller makes another fine over-the-shoulder catch. Now let's see what the flag's all about here. Thrown about the 45. It's against De La Salle. Penalty is declined. It'll be first down. Amador Valley. Gotta love Mahoney there stepping up and throwing the deep ball. And it hasn't been the best of games for Amador Valley, but boy, what a touchdown would do for their confidence here. They're going to go long once again, and that's thrown away. Looking for Miller down the sideline. Coverage from Matt Baldacci. That'll bring up a second down.
And it's all smiles for De La Salle. As right now on the sidelines, Michael Hutchings and Kevin Griffin sharing some laughs. Marquise Morris with his helmet off.
Well, these guys, their involvement in today's game is most certainly over, but their thoughts will turn to next week. The Division I final against either Californian or James Logan. 2nd and 10 here. Amador Valley 4 wide. They give to Apodaca, and he's wrapped up. Apodaca hasn't had the best of games today, to be sure, as David Ortega makes first contact, and Melvin Mangoba brings him down.
Yeah, Mangoba brings him down and then gingerly gets up off the turf, holding on to his left wrist, as maybe he might have got trampled on by the cleats of the ball carrier there for the Dons, and now Mangoba is going to come off to the sideline to get his wrist further evaluated.
A loss of a yard on the carry there by Apodaca sets up a 3rd and 11 now from the De La Salle 41. Mahoney will quickly fire off left side. Pass is complete, but losing his footing was Kyle Green, and he lost it as he made the grab. And as he tried to make the cut to the outside, lost his footing again for a yard gained and a 4th down coming up.
Once again, Mahoney just, I don't know if he's thinking his receivers are supposed to cut in more or not, but it seems as if a lot of the times tonight he's led his receivers a little bit too far, and they just haven't, they've been far outside. He's been placing his balls fast and to the inside. They just haven't really been in sync tonight.
They needed Justin Cruz special here. He'll actually keep it himself here on the fake. Cruz now trying to cut to the far side, and he's wrapped up. Good effort, though, all the same, but Matt McSweeney brings him down around the ankles. And, well, we've seen that almost rugby-type kicking move that Justin Cruz employs there, and he thought he caught De La Salle special teams napping, but was forced to cut back to the far side. and McSweeney brings him down.
And Austin Lone Star with his helmet off, his long California-looking hair, almost looks like reminiscent of Zach Klein last year, coming up and acknowledging Matt McSweeney for his play.
His younger brother Tyler will take over the quarterbacking duties. He'll hand off to Rio Pell, and he's going to lumber 10 yards forward, almost for the first down. Mitchell Mayo bringing him down for Amador Valley.
And you have to wonder if you're Rick Sierra, or really the fans of Amador Valley, when they're going to start getting their subs in. I mean, obviously this is going to be the last time their seniors get a chance to play. There's not too many seniors. They graduated 33 seniors from last year's team, but at least get them on the field, get a lasting chance before their season's done.
Lone Star hands off to Mouton, cuts to the outside, gets around the edge. Look at Mouton go across the 30. He's tripped up the last second. Mitchell Mayo way back there in the secondary to make the tackle. Boy, Riopel and Mouton, two backs you want on any team in the North Coast section. These are the backups for De La Salle.
Yeah, I mean, these guys could start on any other team. I mean, Mouton blazing fast, getting out of the hole.
Flag on the play.
Probably a holding call against De La Salle. Looks to be the case. Zach Farmer saying, yes, that is indeed the call. And Mouton knew it too.
But only the second penalty against De La Salle's offense today. And that should give you an idea of just how disciplined they are as we're almost to the midpoint here of the fourth quarter of play. Couple of changes now at running back. Talugon and Akukuro in the game at running back here with Lone Star under center. Two wide receivers here. They'll give to Akukuro, and he'll plunge forward across the 40 to about the 36. So a good carry for him on his first appearance here tonight.
Akukuro, a junior, only had 2 carries for 25 yards coming into this game, but that makes his average per carry the best on the team this year with a 12.5 average per carry. That's best on the team. Second best would be Mouton with a 10.71 yards per carry.
Bruce, the receiver, way out wide here. Watson in the slot. Lone Star under center, 6:51 to go. Second down, it's a pitch around the left side to Akukuro, and he'll get down close to the 30-yard line before he's finally brought down by Michael White for Amador Valley.
Michael White, a junior, he's getting into the mix now. He wasn't a starter out there, making the tackle. And Granite Bay, thank you, Zach. He has the score in that one, leading Franklin 30-7 at halftime. Remember, this Granite Bay team rolling Napa 52-0 and Downey 56-20 in the first 2 rounds of the Sac Joaquin Section Division I field.
First and 10, handoff inside to Talagon.
And what a regional final that would be if they matched up Granite Bay and De La Salle. Like I said, 2 teams that share the same color scheme. You're going to have a hard time telling between the fans. Luckily, different mascots make that one a little bit easier. One's the Grizzlies in Granite Bay, and, of course, the Spartans of De La Salle.
Second and 4 from the Amador 25. Handoff to Riopel. He gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage as Joey Martin impedes his progress, and he's assisted there from a couple of fellow Dons on the tackle.
Yeah, and a bit of a late hit there by De La Salle's number 43, Chris Leahy. Just kind of going up to a Don defender there and giving him a push and shove really for no reason.
Earl Coates, receiver out far side here for De La Salle. Charlie Luden to the near side. It's a give to Riopel, and he gets stood up at the line of scrimmage, brought down by 3 Dons. Among them leading the charge, Jesse Sergis, the outstanding senior defensive tackle.
Yeah, and Jesse Sergis, he's been everything for his 4 years here at Amador Valley. Really one of the hearts of the team. 3.22 GPA, can bench 300, squat 405, and really what he's looking to maybe get a scholarship to the next level for would be track and field. He's a discus thrower who, as a sophomore, did pretty well in the EBAL championships, placing 11th in the 1.6 kilogram discus throw.
4th and 1, they were going to hand off inside to Akukuro, and flags fly from the far side of the field. 4:22 remaining, then fourth quarter of play. De La Salle up big. It's going to be offside against De La Salle, so that'll push him back.
One thing I'll say about the Dons is I was doing my prep work looking into a lot of these guys with fantastic grade point averages. And one thing the Dons really make sure of to have academics and athletics in the fold. Kyle Moreno, who didn't make the start tonight, dislocating his shoulder in the previous game, 3.8 GPA, will be going to Brown University, which is no slouch. And actually, Steven, they don't give athletic scholarships. You go there based on your academics first, and then it's kind of like a walk-on situation after that point.
4th and 6 then after the offside penalty. Amador Valley show blitz at the line. It's a handoff to Akukaro, and he gets wrapped up. Tackle made there by number 33, Josh Hardy, the senior. And De La Salle turned the ball over on downs. Amador Valley's offense back on the field here with under 3.5 to go.
And Josh Hardy, he's another one of those standout character guys, senior linebacker, enthusiastic, hardworking, coachable athlete is what he proclaimed himself as on NCSA recruiting. He also said this: he loves the game of football, loves to serve people. He's fulfilled by giving back. He's involved in the church youth group.
1st and 10, Amador to give inside to the running back, and he's brought down. That was Richard Wilson getting the call for the first time tonight, and you were wondering when they were going to bring in some of the other seniors here. They bring in the 5'9", 180-pound senior running back Richard Wilson for his first carry. Fortunately, he stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
So I guess that's going to signal the end of the night for the starters, most notably Grant Miller telling Steven about this. I guess he's not a fan of Black Friday, saying this. Well, he retweeted someone else's thoughts on Twitter saying, Black Friday is stupid. I prefer my bed. So
there you go.
We all know that he got some good sleep at least before the game today.
Pass complete out of the backfield, and a nice grab made here near side by Hawk Becker. That's his first reception in the game. I think Miller feels the same way that most guys feel about Black Friday. They'd rather stay in bed. Pass is complete, though, for a first down. That'll move the chains. And we talk, you figure as a backup quarterback, you get maybe 10% of the snaps in practice all season long, considering the kind of situation that Mahoney's been put in here tonight.
That was the story of the game as far as I'm concerned. I really would have liked to see what this Amador Valley offense could have been with Moreno. I don't think the score would have been all that different, but I do think that they would have put some points on the board by now had Moreno been healthy.
Here's a good-looking run by Sam Peters over the left side for about 7. They'll bring up 2nd down and short. But give credit to Mahoney. I mean, considering what he's been given here tonight, he's done a pretty good job. But anytime you face De La Salle, especially at home here in the playoffs, it's going to be a tough ask, to say the least.
Right. And especially a guy who hadn't really seen any playing time this year at all. And, I mean, he's really been held to just holding duties.
Timeout call by Coach Sierra here. That'll stop the clock with 1:15 to go. Amador needs to drive about 53 yards here if they are going to put any points on the board before the end of this one. 1:15, then 4th quarter of play.
Well, folks, I do want to remind you to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this North Coast Section Division I semifinal. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com, and also another one. Remember, folks, PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championships events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
Let's give you some final quick score updates. Clayton Valley all over Concord, 35-14, 11-10 to go. El Cerrito.
Joe Prothero must be breaking through in that one,
Yes, sir. And then El Cerrito up 33-7 over Annalee, that game in the 3rd quarter. Mahoney spins, rolls out right side, looking for a receiver, has him near side. Big collision there. Nice tackle made by number 36, Simba Short, on Kevin Nags, the junior receiver there, making a fine catch.
The kicker getting a chance to get involved in the pass game, Kevin Nags. 6', 185-pound junior.
He'll move the chains. First down as well, so that's inside De La Salle, half of the field. Fortunately for the Dons, the clock very much against their favor here. From the near side, it's 1st and 10 from the De La Salle 49. Quick out route to Kane. He makes a catch, steps back to the middle of the field. Nowhere to go there for De La Salle. Spartans all over him. Devin Perkins, the first one to make contact for the Spartans. Timeout called in by Amador Valley. And you figure they're going to make one last go at the end zone here, Michael.
Yeah. They might as well. One last play, maybe a couple last. They'll get 2 plays here. I'm looking at the scores for De La Salle this year. This is only the fourth time they've put up the fifth time they've put up over 50 points, but this would be their second largest win differential of the season. The first coming against Livermore, a team that has just been horrible against De La Salle in years. I think they're 0-9 in De La Salle in the last 4. They lost 57-0 against De La Salle.
Quite the game going on between Arcata and Justin Siena. That game in the Division 4. Justin Siena, the number 1 seed. They were up 27-14 over Arcata, but Arcata have come roaring back to tie that one up. Bellarmine now over Sarah, 17-12. Central Catholic up over Center, 34-13. Last chances then here for Amador Valley. Got trips bunched left side, one receiver right. Mahoney in the gun. Oh, it's White. They're going to try that trick play they worked on earlier on, and this time it doesn't work, as White, who lined up to take the snap, fires it over the head of Mahoney on the far side of the field for an incomplete pass, and a big loss of yardage as well.
De La Salle fans figuring they'll beat traffic and get out now, or they'll just line up at the locker room and get ready to see the players once their time is done.
13.5 seconds, then the clock stops on the incomplete pass. And once again, we have quite the afternoon and evening of football for you tomorrow on PlayOnSports.com. Zach, Michael, and myself will be getting up in an obscenely early hour of the morning to drive all the way up to Humboldt State for the Division 5 game between St. Vincent and Ferndale. Zach Farm already shaking his head.
Oh, but hey, you know what, though? Play On Sports will be taking care of us pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
I've got the details, and they'll make it worth our while. I can't wait.
And we got 2 great games in the evening, topped off by what should be a fascinating encounter between the James Logan Colts and California Grizzlies. That is going to be quite the game from Ernie Berger Field. So after you get done listening to us call a Division 5 game tomorrow afternoon, be sure to check out our coverage from San Ramon tomorrow at 7 o'clock as the Grizzlies play host to the Colts.
And this game is almost like the Niners and the Saints this week. The Saints need this one more than the Niners, and I think James Logan's going to need this one a lot more than Cal. The whole question has been, can James Logan finally knock off the big team?
Yeah, sure.
Last year they were supposed to have a great team that was, number 2 to De La Salle in the polls every week, and then they lost to San Ramon at home in the quarterfinals. Can they escape through this year and make it to the NCS Division I final against De La Salle, who is the only other team in the Freelance League that they compete with?
Mahoney's pass is complete to the far side, but Amador Valley, unfortunately without the starting quarterback Kyle Moreno, have lost here to De La Salle as the Spartans pull out a 49-0 victory here at Owen Owens Field, and more importantly, book their place in the North Coast Section Division I final next weekend. We'll be back in just a few minutes to wrap up the scoring from this game and also a player of the game interview in just a few moments. So stick around. We'll be right back. Once again, you are tuned to Play On Sports' coverage of the North Coast Section Division I playoffs. De La Salle, big-time win over Amador here tonight, 49-0. Back with you just a moment.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.